Phones off, please. Hello, welcome to Real Talk. Yes, we are back, and I know you're like, where is her face? Where is she? I know, believe me, I'm missing this myself. So, all of the panelists will have to be the beauties for Real Talk today. But I am having some audio issues. Remember, before it was technical issues, now it's audio issues. I tell you, you gotta love and you gotta love-hate relationship with technology, right? Love it when it works. Right. But I am welcoming you to Real Talk. Welcome back, where this is a great platform for women, where we come together and we have real conversations about things that are being able to, do better in our world, and to talk about the things that are on our minds and in our communities, and the different things that are happening that concern us, and what we can do to make it better, right? So it's all about listening and hearing and being able to help each other. So like I'll say, when the women are in charge, we can be able to have more compassion, and we can resolve some things. We are talking about some really great resolutions, and we like to have fun as well. And it goes so quickly. My co-host is normally with me. And by the way, my name is Dr. Kim Brown Barber, if you don't know already, and I am the CEO and founder of Journey to Becoming, where it's all about the journey as we begin to see what our destinies are, and they constantly change, right? And my co-host, who is in the air on her way to the conference that I'm going to be in the air to in another couple days. We're doing a women's conference, and so she's in the air. Her name is Rochelle Lawson. And so we are glad that she's safely in the air flying to the conference, and we're getting ready for that. And we're excited about that as well. But right now we are excited about our guest. And so we want you guys to take like about half a minute to say who you are. And then that way we can get started. And today is awesome because usually we have a specific topic we're talking about, but today is our first open mic, well, our second open mic. And open mic is really good because it's what you want to talk about, right? So I'm going to start with our guru, Synovia, who's been on Real Talk before. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. I am Synovia Williams. I am from Tallahassee, Florida.
Yeah, all right, East Coast.
East Coast is in the building.
Yes.
But yes, I met Dr. Barber some years ago, and we just had an amazing connection. She is my soul sister. And so I feel honored and delighted to be a part of this panel tonight. So thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Thank you and welcome back. And we also have with us none other than, and I'm going to let her introduce herself, but she is another soul sister that we've been meeting, is Susie. Why don't you introduce yourself, Susie?
Well, unlike Synovia, I've known Kim for about 11 minutes.
I love it.
It's true.
Love it.
It's true.
It is true. You know me.
I do. Apparently, I do. At any rate,
exactly.
We had a chance to connect this weekend. I'm in Monterey, California. I'm in the lifestyle consulting industry. I have been for over 50 years. And we hooked up, you know how the universe is. And there we were. And I'm so grateful.
Exactly.
I'm so grateful. And thank you for asking me to join you today.
Thank you so much, Susie, for being with us. All right. Susie from Monterey, and rounding us up with another soul sister from the South, Amel. Introduce yourself.
Hey, everyone. My name is Amel Khan. I've known Kim for 2-3 years now. So
yeah,
more than 11 minutes there.
Exactly.
Dr. Kim, though. But it's been an awesome journey, and I'm happy to be here. I'm here in California, more on the southern side of California. So
yeah, she's in the South.
The SoCal, we call it.
The SoCal, that's right.
My full-time job is at Cal State University, Dominguez Hills.
Yes. All right, Amel, thank you so much. We appreciate you taking time and joining us today. Amel, I tell you, she's amazing. If I'm in a pickle, I tell you what, I call her okay, and she's like, I got you. No matter what, I'm not talking about just the show, but no matter what, she's one of those type people. So I really appreciate you, Mel. All right, so open mic, ladies. I don't ask the questions this time. I may ask some provoking questions and connect, but this time it's on you. And we know we don't have a lot of time because we only have 26 minutes and it goes really fast. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with the newest 11-minute person, as they want to call it, as she wants to call it. We're going to start with her, the newest, and giving her the first take on this. And if you could take, let's say, 3 minutes to talk about what's on your mind for open mic.
You know, I just want to be really direct and blunt at the moment. I think I need to quit watching the news. I picked up my phone this morning and almost had a heart attack over Lindsey Graham. I'm unable to understand the world I'm living in this country, and I honestly, I'm a woman of action. It's like I'm not I know how to talk, but what I do is I solve problems and I find solutions, and I like to move forward. And this last 6 years has been unbearable. And I'm finding that it's not getting better. And I don't know if it's that thing that it's what you focus on expands, right? And we're all focusing on all the wrong
Exactly.
things. Yeah, I'm just beginning to think we're focusing on the wrong stuff. I've known it for a long time. We've been in a culture of fear mongering, and I don't know. Maybe you ladies have a different opinion, but it's time we change this conversation. It's time to move forward. What do we want? What do we want our children and our grandchildren to be living in? Because, you know, frankly, I've got 7 decades plus under my belt at this point, and I haven't lived through this. I don't know if I've just been spoiled. I don't know if I've just been pampered. I don't know if I'm just, what do they call that, entitled? I don't know what the problem is, but whatever is going on right now in this country, it's time for me to step up, and I'm ready to do so. I'd love your input. I'd love your anything, commentary. I don't talk about this much with people because, it's scary out there. I don't want to get
Right. You're right. I really appreciate your honesty, and I appreciate your boldness, and, and your integrity. And we just applaud you, as a woman, to be able to speak out and to know that you're, in a comfort zone and a safe space. But I'd like to give, because this is our, open mic, the way we've been doing this is like giving you a chance to speak and then having some comments. So Zenobia and Amel, if you guys want to comment on what Susie's talking about, that would be awesome.
Absolutely. I definitely want to comment on it. Maybe a few years ago, I stopped watching the news on a daily basis. So what I do is I do like a weekly check-in just to kind of see what's going on. But, with the media, what's the saying? There's 3 people I don't trust, statistician, what is it? It was some other part, but they don't trust statisticians because they can manipulate the data and manipulate, the fear, because we respond to that. But the beauty of all of this that's happening is, I have only known Susie for 11 minutes.
I love it.
I can tell just by looking at you that you are fearless. Even if in your hairstyle, you're a trendsetter.
Yes.
You live outside of the boundaries and nothing can hold you back. And even looking at your last name, Lazarus, you are here to raise from the dead, right?
And I've done it more than once.
I know you have done it.
Part. I'm dropping the mic on that one right there. We always have a drop the mic part in the Real Talk Show. That's a drop the mic right there.
It is. But look at the zeal that is created and the fire that is created in you. So it was meant for you to see that horrific stuff, because you are the woman that will go out there and seek change and advocate and things of that sort. And you have the power and the control. It was meant for you to see those things and have that piercing of your heart, because this is who you are. So, you know, you may have been here for 7 decades, but there's still some more work for you to do. We need women like you.
I'm loving it. All right, Amel. Look, Zenobia is going to have us stopping and clapping and everything else. What is going on? Stop. Yes, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Come on, Amel, talk to us. What's your comments on it?
I've spoke to you before about how coming from outside the country, coming here to live the American dream, one would never think of whatever is going in the news happens here. Exactly. So if you were to check in with a random stranger outside the country, they kind of not know much, and they think this is the land of opportunities and only good things happen over here, which has been my constant battle. I was like, no way. You got education messed up. You got everything. The new laws they come up with, for me, the same. I don't watch the news. Unfortunately, social media has a way of adding advertisements to your feed, and it passes by you unless you just drop your accounts completely.
Right.
But it's just sad, all the things that can be voted on and be passed through bills and exist.
Exactly. And so I think it becomes really important for us as women. We do have to say, okay, well, what are you going to do? Right. What's our part? Because we have a part to play. Everybody has a part to play, and no part is a smaller part. And so it's very important for us to realize that no part is a smaller part. And so that we have to be able to move forward to do what needs to be done. That it's funny because that's actually the name of my topic that I'm speaking on that's coming up this week is called For Such a Time as This. And so, I mean, like all of you guys have been all around that. So thank you for that, Susie, for that open mic. Now, Zenobia, we want to give you time. And so we have time to do feedback. So let me give you 2 minutes, and then we'll have 2-minute feedback from everybody so we can have time for Amel.
Okay. And just anything, I did remember it. It's a liar, a damn liar, and a statistician. Those are
oh my goodness. Okay. Right.
Yes.
It's your time. Okay. That's 1 minute. You better hurry up.
Okay. And so I just also thank you for reminding me. So even like what you were saying, for such a time as this, that relates back to the story in the Bible with Esther being the queen. And so she was made queen for such a time as this. So Susan, you have been made queen for such a time as this. We need you and your support, and Amel as well, definitely. And so that's my little part for now.
Okay, so you didn't have anything else that you wanted to add? Like, you didn't have anything on your mind that you wanted to talk about? As far as I know, Susie had what was on her mind. Did you have anything that was on your mind that you wanted to talk about? I want to make sure that you have your time on the podium to talk about what's on your mind.
Well, I'll give way to Amel, and I'll just add. I'll just be, some seasoning.
All right. Well, I'm loving that. You're gonna play my temporary co-host for the day. Is that what it is? All right, Amel, what's on your mind? Open mic.
Could be anything, right? Going on in my world?
Anything. When we're talking about women, what's on our mind? It could be our kids. It could be education. It could be, whatever. But what's on your mind that you want to bring to the forefront today?
There's a lot on my mind. I don't think I can share everything, but one thing that I definitely it's can I be that open? Okay, it's hard being a woman in a man's world.
Okay, there it is.
That has been my challenge at work, where certain things I was told, I'm not sure what the name of the book is, but somebody wrote this book that a woman comes in to work thinking about a million things versus a man doesn't. So their productivity should be less accordingly.
Good grief, really?
Yes.
Well, I mean, you just never know because we just have so many different things that we tend to, whether it's the house, the kids, and then the job on top of it, and a lot of things. And it doesn't take away from what men do. And I got to tell people, real talk, we're not against men. I want to be very clear on that. We support our men and we appreciate them. But I think it's very important for us to be able to see the things where there are inequities and where there are different issues that need to be discussed so that things can be better for everyone. Because what people fail to realize is that, when you're especially in as you were just saying, it's hard to be, a female in a man's, world, or even in a man's industry, a man's, position. And we had this conversation before, and we were talking about, how it is to be in, like male dominant positions and being a female. And one of those was in technology, and our co-host actually has her own technology company, and she has had it for decades. But she was talking about how hard it was being able to be that female going into these, Fortune 500 companies, and then having someone who works with her who is a male to walk in, and then they start talking to the male and not her, and she's the owner of the company, and she just lets them talk. And then afterwards, the guy sits there and says, she's the owner, right? So how do we cope? Let's talk about that. We talk about what the issues are on this platform, but we also talk about what do we do, because we don't want to leave people in, as like if you're watching a movie and you leave them suspended, in suspense, like, okay, well, how do we solve this? How does it work? And it doesn't mean like it's something that's solved in a 26-minute time or something, but something to think about, something to do, what the action is, the call to action. So for Amel, what would you say, Susie, to Amel being in that position and how she feels? What would you say to her?
First of all, I understand what you're doing. I have a daughter who is a very high level exec in the tech industry. So I have heard this for a long time. I'd like to suggest somebody that I studied with several years ago. Her name is Alison Armstrong. Okay. She is probably the foremost coach on men and women. This has been her life's work. And one of the things that you'll get just by listening to her is an understanding of who women are and who men are. Women are about community. We're supposed to be about community. We're supposed to be about relationship. We're supposed to be about team. We're supposed to be about supporting each other. And I think my generation really screwed that over. We did some really tough things to break through some things that were going on, and our daughters are paying the price. Our daughters who are in their 40s are paying the price. Men are single focused. By the way, I have 4 kids. I have 2 boys and 2 girls, all execs in companies. And I watch the difference. I can see where they're not connecting. I can see where they've got problems. I can see where there are systemic issues to be dealt with. So you're in a tough spot. I get it. And my daughter was tasked with finding at one point 5,000 women to hire for a particular company. And women told her point blank, I've dealt with these guys now since I was in 1st grade. Don't want to deal with them anymore. And that's a tragedy. That's a tragedy when we are losing talented, skilled, brilliant, compassionate, empathetic, trained human beings because they can't cope with the culture. And cultures are top down. So I would leave you with, go study a little bit of Alison Armstrong, see what you can find of her online. Understand that men and women are not adversaries. We are not supposed to be adversaries. We're part of getting the job done.
Sure. Exactly.
Does that make any sense?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so I'm happy to talk further about this. I've run over your time, but I would love to help you if there's a way that I can, so that you're in bliss when you go to work and not in pain.
And that's coming. So more to come on that. We got to keep moving. Sorry about that, but we have a certain time. Zenobia, what do you have to say?
I would say for Emil, I definitely understand. I go through that all of the time. And very similar to what Susan is saying, men's brains and women's brains are wired completely different. Men is compartmentalized. It's in this little box, and I deal with this. With us, we connect all the boxes, right? But this is our superpower. And tap into that feminine, divine superpower within you. And, we can make some other jokes about men. I don't think it's this platform, but we can make some other jokes about them somewhere else. But how we have the ability to project, and see everything that's going on right now. And then they may not hear you. That happens all of the time. People will minimize you or diminish you because you're not like this or you're not like that. It doesn't matter. You really who you are. People just do that in general. But for us as women in your capacity, yes, definitely. But you have the power to control what impacts you, right? So the question is, are you a thermostat or a thermometer?
Oh, Tony Robbins. Well done.
Yeah. Do you allow what is on the exterior control you, or do you set the temperature?
There you go.
You set the temperature. And sometimes, just like how Susan had that charge, maybe there's another charge for you as well. And you can let the big boys have their own thing, and then we can do our own thing as women, right? And empower other little girls, and so that they don't have to go through what we've gone through too.
Exactly. Very good. Well said. So our time is really running short. So I want to be able to, go back around for our final ones, because we only have like 3 or 4 minutes left. And so it's really important. And as you can see, that's why the open mic is really great and important, because then it's what's on our minds, what we've been thinking about, what's been inside that we may not have been able to even talk to anybody about. And we just need to get it out. And then sometimes, you have an answer right away. Sometimes you don't, but just know the answer is there. So, I always tell people, never to give up hope. Never, never, never. I don't care what it looks like right now, but never to give up hope, because there is much more to come. And more importantly, like we even talked about earlier, inside of ourselves, we have so many destinies that are coming forth, right? I tell people, it's not just like, oh, you reach your destiny and that's it. No, it's many destinies that you are being able to reach and to go forth in, because because all of it is who you are. Everything that you need to reach all your goals and the things that you're talking about, you already have within you. So never let anybody tell you that you don't have what it takes. You do have what it takes, no matter what. And then the thing is we also have to know is, there's a beginning and end to everything. We have to know when it's time to move on, and we have to know when it's a time to take another road. We have to know when it's a time to expand. We just have to be in tune with ourselves, and in tune with, just our environment, and with God, to be able to, know what's next, and how that looks. So I know we only have a couple minutes, and I always like to leave everybody with having one positive word that they leave for our viewers who are listening or will listen and will hear, because not only are we live stream, but it gets broadcast again. So just give 30 seconds of what you would leave for everybody. I'll start with you, Emil. 30 seconds.
Every cloud has a silver lining, and I'm looking up for that. Keep looking out for that.
I love it. 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 All right, Zenobia.
One of my favorite sayings is that life begins at the end of your comfort zone. Leave what is familiar, what you are comfortable with, and just try something new. It's never too late to reinvent yourself.
Yes, I love that. I'm all about the reinventing. All right, Susie.
Entrepreneurship. Women create the fabric, the tapestry of any civilization. And in our country, in this country, it can be done with business. And that is the top down conversation. Get out there and lead, stop following.
All right. Awesome. I love it. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for being with us today. Thank you for joining us, our panelists. We thank our panelists for being here today. Thank you who are watching, who are listening, who will be watching or listening. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to hear more and know more about what is going on in the women's world, right? Real talk, real talk. And we're going to be able to do more of this. We'll have some more open mics. But we have other topics that we're coming back with. So stay tuned and listen. And maybe you'll become one of the panelists that'll be on here. Reach out to us. And don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you next time on Real Talk. Take care.